All right, now for the shape mask tutorial. This is for desktop only. We do not have these functions on iPad. So I'm going to open the shape mask folder, and you'll notice there's a series of landscapes in here. So we have 2 city, 2 farm, 2 jungle, desert, space, and ocean options. I want you to select 2 images that are opposite of each other. So I'm going to start here with, I think I'm going to do ocean and space. So I'm going to go ahead and download one of the space images and then one of the ocean images. All right, now I'm going to pop over to Photoshop. I'm going to create a new document. We always do it in inches. And just like the text mask, we're doing 5x7 here. Your resolution is always 300. Make sure you're in the horizontal orientation. All these pictures are horizontal, so you don't want it to be vertical. So we're going to hit create, and then we're going to open those 2 images that we downloaded. So this opens 2 new tabs. Use your rectangular marquee tool to click and drag and select. You're going to copy and paste onto your untitled. And each of these images need to fill the space. So you're going to free transform. It's okay if some of it gets cut off on the end. It's most important that it fills the space. Hit return on your keyboard. Close this one. I'm going to get my ocean picture. Copy. Paste. And then free transform. All right. Next step, I'm going to put a shape over top of these. Your shape tool is towards the bottom of your toolbox. You'll notice that you have not only your regular shapes, there's also custom shapes. I'm going to click on that first to show you. When you click on the shape tool, any of them, this is your option bar. You want to make sure first and foremost that instead of shape, we're creating a path. A path is going to make a area that we can turn into a selection to make a mask. If I want to choose the custom shape tool, this little black and white box pops up as an option. And when I click on that, you're going to have a bunch of folders with different custom shape options that you can look through. For this one, I'm just going to do a triangle. Again, I'm going to double check that it says path instead of shape. And then I'm just going to click and drag my triangle over my picture. Now to move this, it feels a little different than any other thing we do in Photoshop, but right above that shape tool, there's a little arrow. That specifically is meant to move and change the shape of your path that you created, or change the size, I should say. So once you have it in the position and the size that you want, you're going to go click on the shape tool once again. And then at the top next to path, you're going to see selection. I want you to click that, and that's going to turn your path, hit OK, into the marching ants, which is exactly what we want. Now, all we have to do is find our mask button in our layer box. So I'm going to click on the mask, and that's going to pop my top picture through a shape and hide whatever part of that image is outside of the shape. Now, in order to make this kind of stand out and look cool, I'm going to then come to layer, style, and this time we're going to do bevel and emboss. Bevel and emboss is going to be what makes our image look a little bit 3D. And you're just going to kind of mess around with these custom sliders until you get an effect that you want. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now I can take this and free transform and change the size of this if I want. So maybe it was a little too big. Maybe I want it kind of floating in my space. Once you have this done and your shape is placed where you want it, one last thing you can do if you want to add one more finishing touch is you can come back over to where the blend modes are, where your normal drop-down menu is, and you can see if you can find a blend mode that makes this look cool and kind of blends the 2 images together. So I kind of liked lighten because it showed a little bit of the space coming through. So I'm going to leave that on there. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save on my computer. I'm going to have to save a copy so I can get my JPEG option and squash my layers. So I'm going to change my format to JPEG. I'm going to call this shape mask. Hit save. Make sure this is maximum quality under JPEG options. And then I'm going to put this in the corresponding page on my Module 2 art journal.